Howdy, howdy, everybody. And I want to talk about a lot of the issues that's been going on with the game and everything. All right, let's just start with this. We've been having like mixed feelings and everything. There are some things that we would like to change and some things that we want to go over and discuss. So I have went to one of their support websites for Lord of Heroes, and I will link this down in the description box below for you guys to do this as well. So pay attention real close and let me talk about what's going on. So here is a really descriptive post that I had did. And if you've been following me on Twitch, twitch.tv/gamerdude2088, also will be in the description box below. And we've been discussing this on stream where I've been pretty much gathering information as we've been talking about some of the things that we think could help the game become better. Let's go over some of it. The first thing was emulators. Emulators was a big issue on the release because we wasn't able to play via our PC in emulators. Now they have nothing at all is going to get them to give us emulators, but that's not a problem. What I asked here and what we all should be asking is for a PC client, a way for us to play, kind of like how Raid Shadow Legends, oh, how that game is, and it gives us an extra option and a way to play. So everyone that does want to play from their PC, everyone that doesn't have a great device to be able to play on, you don't have to deal with the lag, you don't have to stay with the phone or whatever you use and stuck to a charger, so you don't have to have these problems with destroying your mobile device. This is the way for us to go, is to ask for a PC client and not ask for emulators. So let's stop talking about emulators and let's move on to the PC client direction, because this is something that is well within their power and they can do it their way, so it works for all of us. This is what we want as a community. Trust me. So I went on to talking about after that the boss targeting. Now that's one we talk about a lot, where we just not able to target the boss, which can cause fails in a lot of our runs just because they get attacking the side enemies when we don't want to. Something else that I was addressing. Moving on. I talk about this sometimes where there was a time frame where you was able to spend 9K crystals to purchase heroes, and they were generally 5-star heroes. This is what I saw in the frontier test, and they did it briefly for our contract heroes and the Korean one. I don't know what their plans were, why they changed it. That was something that I want a little more clarity on, and that's something that I advocate for, not only for the contract heroes, but the heroes that they have us pay for, and we can only get the paid way. So it gives free to play players an option to, if they want to save up for 9K, they can, and then they can get those heroes. So they're not just wandering or anything. And only the contracts is after you get the 2 contracts and it moves you on to the next tier of contracts, then you can pay the 9K to get that one. But the paid heroes is they're going to be paid only while they're in the shop, and then once they're gone, then you can get them from the 9K. Granted, 9K will be more expensive than paying $45 US, but it's still a free to play option because you can save. If you wasn't able to get it when it was $45 US, then you could just buy it that way. If you were impatient and didn't want to save up, you can just buy it that way. The auto repeat function. Don't you hate when you're doing the auto repeat and you got to go all the way back out the screen, back into the screen, and then start the auto repeat again? It would be nice if the auto repeat was, once it's over, you just click on the button, start the auto repeat again, and then it keeps it moving. That's simple as that. The next thing I had is trial towers. I know you didn't played, some of you, if not most of you, have played plenty of games like this where you have some kind of tower trials where it's like 100 floors. Every 10th floor is a boss. This is something that this game desperately needs, and I know it's not something that's always prevalent in a game on its release, but it's definitely something that this game should have in the future just to give more life into the game. Next, we got Sap Damage. It's feels like it's a little underpowered and it could do more. So it's not that we need it to be a brokenly OP for the game, but at least do a little more damage so heroes that do have sap in their kit can get a little more out of their kit. So you have your Green Schneiders and your Dark Nines that can do do more than what they do, regardless of how good they are now. Blue Helga would be OP though. The Golden Experience dungeons. Now I know we all have felt this. Like even though we have these dungeons, and I tell people all the time they didn't exist when the game first came out. We even though we have them now, it still doesn't give you much experience and much gold to go off of. So my suggestion was to be somewhere between 150 and 250 elixirs a day. Getting that many pots would be helpful. It costs you thousands of pots to go through all the levels and everything. So for it to be as expensive as that, and granted, you're not going to be able to get a lot of pots early on anyway, just because how difficult the dungeon can be. And even if they scale the dungeon just slightly, it wouldn't be as bad because you're able to get more pots out of it, and that's just going to be beneficial all the way around. Then we also have the gold where you just barely get any gold. Like somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 is great because you use gold for so many things, and then you have to spend so much time farming trials just to be able to get gold and selling all the gear that you get from it, which burns a lot of your energy. Now, speaking about energy, that was one of the things that I almost forgot to talk about, but definitely need to be addressed. Where the energy needs to, the energy it costs to do things in the game needs to be reduced. Not significantly, but definitely needs some form of reduction, whether it's 100, 150, 200 points of reduction in each area, or just some kind of adjustment. Maybe the areas where it's cheaper, maybe 100, maybe 50 points, some of the higher ones 100 or 200 reduction, just so it's not as expensive because your energy caps are so low. And then talking about the caps being increased, where I was looking at my newest account where it's level 6 and the cap is 3500 energy. That's just way too low. You'll burn through 35 in no time. After you do 2 fights in the raid, you only got 1500 left. That's barely enough to do 2 battles in trials for even. That's not about to get you anywhere. So increasing it to about like 9k at that level will be great. So it just scales higher as you go up. Like if you were at level 20 for instance, maybe it's like 30k energy that you have or something like that. I'm just some random number that I'm putting out there. I didn't exactly say that, but maybe you guys have better ideas for that too. And then a better refreshing system where even if a person is paying to play, paying to win, where you spend 30 to 50 crystals just to get a full refresh. I think that's reasonable. It's not too expensive because it already costs quite a bit to buy the crystals in the game. So I think this would be a decent enough pricing for you to be able to just progress. All right, moving on. We were testing something earlier, the attack down and the damage down mechanic. Like I literally been playing this game for forever and didn't realize inside the help section it shows you all the debuffs in the game, even the ones that aren't currently in the game because they haven't put the heroes in the game yet for them. But there is a difference between attack down and damage down, which is kind of like an attack break and a glancing in Summoner's War, if you're familiar with that. With those, the descriptions for them is all the same, and I can actually show you an example here. If you look at the description here for the red Mei Ling, it says attacks to select the enemy, 50% chance to reduce the attack power for 1 turn. She has a damage down ability. You would know it because it show the arrow of damage down. Green Charlotte, it says attack to select the enemy, 50% chance to reduce the attack power for 1 turn. Pretty much the same skill, but hers is an attack break, which is a difference. But if you didn't see it in battle, you wouldn't know. So we was testing, trying to figure out who has attack breaks, who has damage downs on their skill, just so we can know the difference between each one. And it'd be nice to just like when you look at the skill description here, it shows you the icon. It doesn't just tell you what it does, it shows you the icon of what it is. So even if it reads the same skill or something, we don't have to worry about in translation it's being lost. And then the last thing I was saying to them is just to have more communication, more clarity, just to know what's going on. What are they planning? What are they doing? Just some kind of way of us being able to connect to each other a little more so the community can continue to grow and be great. Then I leave my information and everything and just really looking forward to hearing what they may have to say. Now, I'm going to leave this down in the description box below just so you guys can also go and reach out to them. If you have any ideas to add, if you want to elaborate on the ones that I have presented to you today, please do so. The more of us to speak out and talk to them, the more chances they will make changes, because I've been in this community for so long and there's so many changes that they have made just because the Korean player base spoke out and said we needed change. So the only way we can do it is by saying something. And even if we don't get exactly what we want, long as we can get something along the line, something that will help, something that shows that they care, which I believe this company does, it will be beneficial for all of us as a community, for this game, for the company, and everything as a whole. So to finish things up, I ask you guys to be intelligent in what you say to them. Let's not be mean. Let's not be hurtful. Let's not say bad things or anything like that. Let's be respectable, because we can get more respect if we give more respect. And that's all that I got to say about this one, though. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and maybe we can get something happening in the future. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button. If you didn't, I don't know why you don't like this one, but there's a button for you guys as well. Link to the Discord where we discuss this game and just everything else too will be in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment below. Make sure if you're new here to subscribe. And most of you guys that are watching, like at least 70 to 80% of my viewers have not even subscribed yet. What are you doing? What are you waiting for? Subscribe now, man. We got plenty of Lord of Heroes content to come. So many good things that I have planned. So much good stuff that we've been doing on twitch.tv/GamerDude2088. And that's all that I gotta say now. Much love. God bless. Deuces.